it's Kirsty from Kirsty Car Limited. Welcome back to the channel Strategy and Some. Hope you are doing okay. I'm coming to you live from my home office today. I've been doing lots of bits and pieces this morning, putting a load of stuff together, and I thought I'd jump on today and talk about you as a business owner, because sometimes we're so busy talking about everybody else in our business, our clients, our service providers, or all of that, everybody that sits sort of externally to the business. We sometimes lose focus on the most important person in the business, which is you or me or ourselves, however you want to call it. And running a business is a bit like juggling hot pokers whilst riding a unicorn. There are days when it's all ethereal and marvellous and wonderful and everything's going exactly as we want it to go. And there are days when the proverbials hit the fan and we are literally pedaling our little feet off trying to stay afloat. Normally, what happens is we're really good at internalizing that, like we keep it all to ourselves because we have this overwhelming fear of, if I say to somebody, I don't feel that I'm coping very well, I feel overwhelmed, I feel a little bit stressed out, I feel a little bit like things aren't working, I feel a little bit like I'm living in chaos. We have this feeling that that's a symbol of us failing, or that we're not as good as we thought we would be at running a business, or that we're not cut out for it. I won't lie, I mean, in the past week I have said I'm just going to go and get a job in Tesco's. I have said that, those words have come out of my mouth because we're constantly busy, but sometimes it can feel like we're not taking those steps forward, and I'm going to address a little bit of that in today's video. But what I see time and time again, business owners, is that if we're not taking care of ourselves fundamentally or our business in the right way, doing the right things at the right time, those cracks that start to show, we don't see them straight away, and they're gently growing, and we're sort of up there leading from the helm, doing all the being totally visible, going to all the right things, saying all the right things on social media, going to all the events and stuff, but actually the damage is being done behind the scenes. So what I want to give you is a little bit of a deeper introduction into what I do and why it means so much to me, and why I really feel like it can help a lot of my fellow business owners. So there are some common themes, and I've touched on a few of them already. Like, we're constantly jumping between being the business owner, being the admin, being the social media manager, being the financial head of finance, being the accountant, being the marketer, being the PR person, being the client services department, being customer services, being accounts payable, all of those things. And we lose sight that in the middle of that, like, we're a human being. We only have so much energy and time to give in our day. And when we're giving it away to all sorts of things, we're going to feel tired. We're going to feel like we're working long hours with very little return. And we're going to feel that the results are slow, or they're not showing at all. And burnout could be around the corner. And I speak from experience with this. I've experienced burnout. When I came out of corporate, I experienced burnout. I was doing all the things. I was leading the teams. I was flying around the world. I was doing this, that, and the other. And I just wasn't looking after me at all. There was no space in there for me. I wasn't factoring in any space for Kirsty, any wind downs, anything. I was living until the next holiday, which is brilliant. But actually, that means that I was just limping to the finish line. And every time I went on holiday, I'd be ill for the first few days. It would take me at least 4 to 5 days of holiday to relax, for me to be able to go, I feel calm. And it's really easy to think, if I just work a little bit harder, if I just work a few more hours, if I just do this, if I just do this, if I just do this, I'll get everything under control. But that in itself is a bit of a trap, because doing more doesn't necessarily mean that we're achieving more, does it? It just makes us busy fools doing lots of things. So I'm going to recap on the corners. We've got people, and we've got products, and we've got process, and we've got profit. 4 key areas. And today, when I talk about people, you probably think, as a solopreneur, well, it's not relevant to me because no one else can do what I do, and I don't have a team, or if I do have a team, it's one person, it's a VA, and I outsource a few bits and pieces. And again, by putting yourself in that position of it's all on me, it's going to go 2 ways. You're going to crash and burn, or it's going to be chaos. Actually, one way, you're going to crash and burn, let's be really honest. I mean, But if you did have a team, like there's a huge opportunity there. If you did have a team, and a team can be freelancers, outsourcers, it could be somebody that is internal in your team. It could be, we don't have to think of team immediately as people that we employ. It could be lots of different people that have an impact in our business. But having that team of 1, 2, 3, 4 additional people with additional skill sets and additional services could actually make what you're doing a lot better. And then you get the freedom and that feeling of knowing that things are getting done, even when you're not the one that's doing them all, and then you're able to go and focus on other things. So that's a great position to be in. So when we hustle, and I don't like that word, but it seems to be the one that resonates across the business world. So if we only hustle and we just hustle, we're losing sight of being visionary. And this is what I call working in a reactive state all the time. You're literally, something comes up today, I've got to deal with it. Something comes up today, I've got to deal with it. Something comes up this afternoon, I've got to deal with it. And I've said this a few times now. You're not an emergency service. Your business is not an emergency service. You're not on call. You're not reactive. You don't need to be. The minute that an email drops in, the minute that the phone calls, if you're doing something else, find a way for those things to be filtered. Have a thank you for emailing. We will reply to you within the next 24 hours. Thank you for your call. We're not available right now. We'll call you back when we are. It's those kinds of things. It's absolutely fine to take that pause and take a step back. But without the right people and the systems and all of that in place, and I've said this before, and for you leaning into your personal power and what that looks like, you're not building something sustainable. Yes, you're building something, but how solid are the foundations underneath? Is it a bit like a house of cards and it's just going to come tumbling down? We don't want that. What we want you to do is take the time to strengthen those foundations and those structures. Look, you've probably been in business 3 or 4 years. You've been through a lot of the pain points. What we're doing now is taking all the things that are not serving you, getting rid of. We're taking all the things that work for you and we're going to make them even better. And we're going to do even more of that stuff because it's clear that there's a reward, there's a return for doing them. What we want to do is get it into a position where you understand your business 360 inside out. And whether you choose to outsource things in the future and you get a team in and they're doing all the things, you as the captain of your ship, you still know everything that needs to happen in that business, but you no longer need to be the person doing the do. This is where we want you to get to. And it's not just for today, this is for the long term, right? We want to set you up so that your scale, your version of success, your growth plans, whatever that might look like, are all doable. So this is a long haul thing. It's not a quick fix. And I'm not saying to you, if you do all these things tomorrow, everything's going to change from tomorrow. What we want to do is create really healthy business habits so that we raise your awareness and we raise your understanding about how you are interfacing with your business, how you are making decisions that impact your business both positively and negatively, and how by letting go and learning to trust other people who can do things better than you can, that will actually give you a far stronger business with a far stronger product or service to put out there. So here's the truth. If you're not looking out for yourself, your business won't thrive. It's as simple as that. If you are overwhelmed, overtired, acting in chaos, approaching burnout, think of it this way, you're the engine that drives everything. If that engine suddenly burns out, there's nothing left. The gears will grind to a halt. There's just nothing left. But when you take the time to focus on your business and really understand these 4 areas, people, products, process, profit, everything changes. You're going to have the clarity, you're going to have the confidence, you're going to have the freedom, the liberation, you're going to have the energy to lead from the front, you're going to have the energy to make smart decisions, and you can have the freedom to enjoy the journey, not just survive it. And that is the critical thing. Now in this video, as I've said, we've just touched the surface because there's loads of stuff, and actually I'm going to go into so much detail over the coming months and year or whatever that might look like, because there's so much that you can do. And I'm going to dive deeper into all the 4 corners, and we're going to take one at a time, and we're going to have a look at simple, actionable ways to bring more balance and clarity to those corners from today. And I promise you, it's not about adding more work, it's about making the work that you're already doing count. So join me next week. We're going to do some stakeholder mapping, and we're going to have a look at all of the people in your business, all of the players, all of the things they do, the impact that they have. why we need to take note of them, how we need to manage them maybe, what we need to do in order of keeping them satisfied and keeping them informed and managing them closely. There's some tricks that I've got for you. I'm going to be doing this as a presentation. Well, as a presentation, that sounds hella boring. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be drawing this and mapping it out live and talking over it because I'm a visual person as well as a speaker. So for these kinds of things, I'm going to have like a template that I'm filling in so that you can see what I'm talking about. That was a load of waffle. Anyway, join in next week and I'm going to do a deep dive into people's stakeholder mapping so you know who's who in your business and just exactly how you should be working them and moving them and maximizing their effect and impact on your business on the daily. That's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. See you soon.